Welcome to the Ancient Alternative View. If you like the video, please like and subscribe. Thank you. Good day to all watching the Ancient Alternative View, the place where everyone's opinion matters. Remember, the truth has been hidden and covered for many years, so all theories to our ancient past are on the table. I look forward to hearing your views. Please like, comment and subscribe below. Thank you. The sun casts a shadow. No one knows when this revelation occurred to ancient humans, but it is clear from carvings on animal bones from 30,000 years ago and more that some awareness of the sun and moon were thought to be important enough to encode for convenient reference by shamans. The fact that the shadow of an object changes its position on the ground in a regular way is also one of those key astronomical facts that also seems older than written historical record. The oldest shadow stick, called a gnomon, was built as part of a sundial by ancient Egyptians. The date really is yet to be known. Temple and monument architecture also shows that many civilizations knew how to use the changing solar shadow as a local clock to measure the daily passage of time. Once you have a sense that the position of the sun's shadow can be measured in a practical way to mark the passage of time, it is not much a major leap to recognize that from day to day, the length of this shadow and the sun's rising and setting each day also change, but more slowly. The passage of the seasons is easily seen in the changing circumstances of the rising and setting location of the sun along the southern horizon and in its maximum noontime height in the southern sky. Astronomers call this the meridian transit. Almost universally, civilizations have eventually discovered the importance of the spring equinox as the start of the planting season. In very arid locations, such as the southwest desert of the United States, the growing season is short due to rainfall patterns. So it was important to know within days when to plant. Spring also has important religious connotations as the rebirth of the world from the grip of winter, a time for both joyous festivities and solemn ceremony. Astronomically, this happens when the sun rises on the eastern horizon, halfway between its extreme winter position and its extreme summer position. By carefully noting these three locations on the horizon, you can anticipate when the winter has ended and the seasons are moving towards spring. It was common for this equinoctial position to be encoded into important buildings through sightliness and monument architecture, such as windows that let light from the sun reach an interior wall only to be a appointed day during the year. Odenwald, Abu Simbel and Newgrange are perfect examples. For other civilizations, marking the time of the summer and winter solstices was equally as important, i.e. Machu Picchu. Although the equinox position of the sun is identical for spring and fall, the solstice positions are easily distinguished by their extreme southern, i.e. winter, Newgrange, and northern, i.e. summer at Angkor Wat, are the locations along the horizon. Other civilizations also may have paid attention to the location of certain stars such as Sirius, which was used by the Egyptians to predict the all-important flooding of the Nile around July, which began their planting season. Once a building or temple is aligned with the rising and setting of the sun for either religious or practical reasons, it automatically will have architectural elements such as hallways, colonnades, etc. that fall along a north-south and east and west axes. An example is the Apostle Hall of the Temple at Karnak. The role of the North Star as a unique geographic direction did not play nearly as much of a role in ancient alignment as the intentional alignments with the rising and setting sun, since buildings are often rectangular in shape. Once one axis is set along the east-west orientation, the other axis will automatically follow the north-south axis as a freebie, ladies and gentlemen of the Ancient Alternative View. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is just a little brief tour of some of the most well-known examples of sort of simple solar alignment. And one of the best examples is Abu Simbel. Now, it was built by Ramesses II and between 1279 and 1213 BC. And you can walk to the rear of the temple. And we've got no way of actually going and seeing this directly at the moment on Abu Simbel. So we'll go in and have a little look just here while we read this. And you come to the holiest of holies located at the back wall, where you will find 4 statues: Ra Hakrit, Ptah, Amut Ra, and King Ramesses II. The sun shines directliest on the holiest of holies 2 days a year: February the 22nd, the king's birthday, and October the 22nd, the date of his coronation. Then a nice, simple one for us all next. One that we can all relate to. It's probably the best star-aligned place on the planet. The Great Pyramids of Egypt, accurately aligned with the cardinal points of the Earth. Some people have suggested that one of the shafts in the pyramid is aligned with the star Sirius. And there's many theories on the Pyramids of Egypt, but one thing we all know is it's the most accurately aligned building on the planet, ladies and gentlemen. Then from the Pyramids of Giza, I wanted to take us across to, bear with me one moment, ladies and gentlemen, to Newgrange. And Newgrange has a megalithic tomb that was built in excess of 3,500 years ago. Now, a shaft of sunlight shines through the roof box over the entrance and penetrates the passage to light up the chamber. The dramatic event lasts for 17 minutes at dawn, from the 19th to the 23rd of December. Then from Newgrange, we take a whole world trip to Angkor Wat, one of my favourite sites in the world. Done an episode on here in my early days, he says. Anyway, standing near to the southwest corner in Angkor Thom, the rising sun at the summer equinox will be visible through or over the eastern gate. 6 months later, the alignment has shifted to its northern point of the sunrise at winter solstice. The sun itself was so important to the builders here of the temple that the solar movement regulates the position of the bas reliefs, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, there's certainly something going on. I'm sure you can see a pattern emerge. From Angkor Wat, we're going to go around the world again. And we're going to go to a famous site, the Medicine Wheel. I'm sure you've heard of this. Well, just look at that. Now, the Medicine Wheel was built around about 1200 to 1700 AD. A line drawn between the central cairn and an outlying cairn at the Bighorn Medicine Wheel pointed to within 1/3 of a degree of the rising point of the sun at the summer solstice. The actual astronomical purpose of the design of these wheels remains very controversial, ladies and gentlemen. I wonder what my good friend Dave has to think about that. Now, we're going to do this just because it's fun and go back all the way around the world to Chichen Itza. Again, another one of my favourite ancient sites on the planet. I mean, just look at this place. This is a square base step pyramid approximately 75 feet tall, constructed by the Mayans. Circa 1000 to 1200 AD. I'm thinking it's a lot earlier than that, I've got to be quite honest. Directly upon the multiple foundations of previous temples, obviously that were earlier. The axes that run through the northwest and southwest corners of the pyramid are orientated towards the rising point of the sun at the summer solstice and is setting point at the winter solstice, ladies and gentlemen. Now, one of my favourite sites from here has to be the inevitable Easter Island, ladies and gentlemen. Now, why am I taking you here? Well, Easter Island is one of the most important ancient sites that we've got on the planet. Over 880 statues called the Moai can be found on this isolated island located 2,300 miles from the coast of Chile. The 7 moai at Ahu Akavi were built around about 1460 to 5000 CE and face the point at which the sun sets during the equinox, ladies and gentlemen. Then where possible around the world could we go to quite so far away to see where opposite ancients of the world were observing absolutely everything? The Goacheng Observatory, established in 1279 AD by the famous astronomer Guo Xiaojing, is the oldest of 27 ancient observatories in China, linking the entry and exit to the platform and stairs and pathways. Between the two pathways is a 93-foot-long stone Chinese sundial, which was paved by 36 slates. It was originally designed for use in predicting the time of the solstice each. From the Goacheng Observatory, how much further could we actually go? Well, the Gotland Groves petroglyphs, there are about 3,600 known stones scattered throughout the island of Gotland. The most important feature of the grooves appears to be in their grand alignment. When looked at over the entire island, a recent study of 1,256 grooves showed that they are aligned with certain positions of the celestial bodies, apparently the sun or the moon. From the Gotland petroglyphs all the way over to Odenwald, ladies and gentlemen. Tree ring dating. Why is this important at this ancient site? Well, the construction of the sunroom suggests that it was added in 1277 AD, around 100 years after the main structure called the castle was completed. 2 ports or windows in the large tower emit rays from the sun into an interior room, and it has been proposed that the arrangement was used as a solar calendar. The equinox port points to the sunrise azimuth 4 days after the vernal equinox. We now leave Odenwald and we go the other side of the world to the Janta Manta. Well, what a story that lays behind this, ladies and gentlemen, of the ancient alternative view. The great Indian astronomer King Maharajah Singh II of Jaipur, I hope I said that right, built these 5 astronomical observatories between AD 1724 and 1730, during the period generally known as the Dark Age of Indian history. The Janta Manta consists of a number of masonry instruments for predicting time, measuring the position of the celestial body and determining the latitude. The 2 pillars on the southwest of the Mishra Yantra were designed to determine the shortest and longest days of the year. In December, one pillar completely covers the other with its shadow, while in June it does not cast any such shadow at all. We go over now to probably one of my favourite ancient sites on the planet to have studied. Some of the dating's rather wrong on it, to be quite fair, but we have to remember that the temple at Karnak, unfortunately, has been reconstructed many, many, many times. So although I'd love to tell you it was built by the ancient Egyptians, it sadly isn't at the moment. The earliest axes included the famous Great Apostle Hall built by Ramesses II on the east to west alignment. Sir Norman Lockyer, 1836 to 1920, proposed a midsummer sunset alignment of the main axis of the great temple of Amun-Re. Karnak was, by some accounts, the temple at Luxor may have no less than 4 well-defined alignment changes involving stars. Unlike solar alignments, which can generally last for thousands of years intact, stellar alignments are much more critical because of the precession of the equinoxes and last only a few hundred years. Lockyer's measurements showed several Karnak temples have been altered over the centuries to match the precessional changes of their aligned stars. Stands to reason, doesn't it, ladies and gentlemen? And we take another short flight over the world to yet another one of my favourite sites. I see you can get that from me. I love my ancient research, so you have to bear with me. I guess that's why we're all here. But a number of features distributed throughout the site are aligned with the June solstice azimuth of 65 to 245 degrees. The Temple of the Three Windows, forming the easterly side of the plaza, opens to the plaza and faces the solstice sunset. The solstice alignment and the importance of solstice ritual to the Inca suggests that this was primary ceremonial consideration of this shrine. The Torreon is popular, called the Temple of the Sun. A stone enclosed within the Torreon is reported to receive a ray of light through the east-facing window during the June solstice. And just another small trip. The sun dagger at the top of Fajada Butte along a narrow ledge is a sacred Native American site given the name the sun dagger. On the day of the summer solstice, a slender beam of sunlight passes between two rock monoliths and bisect the center of a spiral-shaped petroglyph. Two parallel daggers bracket the large spiral at the spring and fall equinoxes. The sun dagger formation is estimated to be 1,000 years old, and what was constructed by the Anasazi. Chaco Canyon was abandoned during the 13th century for unknown reasons, and the sun dagger remained hidden until 1977, when it was rediscovered by archaeologists studying the petroglyphs. Right, now, just to prove a point, and we'll go over to Great Zimbabwe. I'm sure you can see what I'm doing here. Same astronomical alignments all over the world, ladies and gentlemen, of the ancient alternative view. But, I mean, when you think about just how big and well sorted these places were, the construction includes a great enclosure consisting of a ring of stone walls and platforms about 250 meters in circumference. Last used about 800 years ago, several of the stone monoliths line up to a certain bright star in the constellation Orion as they rise on the morning of the shortest days of the year and the winter solstice. Now, there are lots and lots more of these ancient astronomical observatories, ladies and gentlemen. I could have put another 20 on here. I would like you to think and look yourselves at the importance of the astronomical alignment of these places. So, today's episode dedicated to Dave at Uchronia Utopia. Today's episode has been about astronomical alignment, and it's important for us to broaden our horizons on the things that we don't know, let alone the things that we do. So thanks, Dave, for giving me some valuable information for this topic, and I hope I did you proud on the astronomical alignments today. Another shout out today goes to that poet Bobby Mask, who woke up this morning, took the girls to school, and this man just makes you smile. He's absolutely superb. Get yourselves across to Bobby. He's done quite a lot for the Lost History Channel, an excellent poem for them. And thanks very much indeed today for watching. Remember, there's always an ancient alternative view. Thank you for watching.